We might be getting another snow planet in episode 9, and I'm all for it. Hey, it beats another desert planet.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
Okay, so here's some Star Wars news. Warning, there are spoilers in this video, just a heads up, just in case you're trying to stay spoiler free. So here's a roundup of the Star Wars news from this week. Let's start with an Instagram post that supposedly shows a Star Wars Episode 9 set is being dressed with snow and contains at least one snow building. This is separate from the ash planet we're getting, and supposedly not for a flashback for Starkiller Base, but a new snowy planet altogether. And for those complaining about another snow planet, it could be a desert planet, so let's count our blessings. Actually, from the leaks, it appears we're going to be seeing a very diverse set of biomes, so I'm actually really excited. Makes sense as the Resistance is traveling around to find more allies. And of course, while they're getting those allies, they'll be running into the First Order quite a bit. Now, this set might be for pickup shots or after a big battle between the Resistance and the First Order, as there are what appears to be charred trees. Other leaks suggest they are only doing exterior shots here, so it makes sense to film opening shots of a battle or after for damage shots. Ah, the wonderful world of CGI. Next, John teased R5-D4 being in his TV series, The Mandalorian, which I don't care if it's fan service, I'm excited. A portion of the show takes place on Tatooine, so seeing R5 wouldn't be a stretch. I'm sure by 5 years after Return of the Jedi, someone has fixed up the poor droid and put him to work. Now, from a certain point of view that has canon stories from other people's perspectives, which of course makes them suspect, we know that R2 tried to sabotage R5, and that after R2 begged him to let R2 be sold instead of him, R5 sabotaged himself. According to the Red One story, after the stormtroopers leave following interrogating the Sand People and then massacring them, R5 powered himself up and rolled out into the desert, heading to the nearest moisture farm, knowing that they would certainly take a free droid. He knows they'd gladly repair him, clean him up, and then let him be useful. And he had the hopes that perhaps in the future, if he was lucky, he'd find the rebellion and be able to work with them. If we are reintroduced to R5, maybe at some point in his life he did end up working for the rebellion. Or maybe he never left working for his new moisture farm. Next, Anthony Daniels revealed that a few days ago he wrapped filming as C-3PO. He wrote, "Today was 3PO's last on episode 9. He's sad. So am I. But we're so proud to have worked with such a lovely, talented cast and crew led by JJ and Kathy. I'll miss everyone, but I'm glad to know that we've been making something exceptional together to share with the waiting world." I wish I had more nice things to say about the actor for C-3PO, so instead I will say that I'm sad that C-3PO is done with this trilogy, but I'm sure we're going to see him in a future movie. Also, a leak suggested that Leia and C-3PO have some scenes alone together, so we could be in for a very emotional episode 9. Of course, we also know another droid just wrapped filming. Brian Herring tweeted, "BB-8 is done, writing. Today was a wrap on BB-8. The last 5 years have been an amazing ride. Thanks to J.J. Abrams, Kathleen, Neil, #Team BB-8, especially Dave, and the entire cast and crew for the time of my life. Few people get to live the dream. Thank you." Hux's actor is also likely done filming, as he's already elsewhere filming other projects. If the leaks that Hux isn't in the last half of the film are true, he could be done for quite a while now though. But maybe he finished his scenes much earlier if he isn't in as many, as the focus is likely on Kylo, Rey, Finn, and Poe. On that same thread, Finn's actor John was asked how much more filming he had to go, and which of the 3 films he had the most fun working on, to which he responded, "Just a little more. This one has been the most fun by far." John's comments about filming ending soon is in line with what we know. Filming for episode 9 will end in February, and then they'll have reshoots. Of course, certain actors are already done, like the actor for C-3PO. More sources are saying that there will be no Star Wars episode 9 trailer during the Super Bowl, so I'd say still don't expect it. But if there is one, hooray. And there are about 1 million suggestions that the title will be announced very soon, so I don't know. I'm tired of getting hopeful with every seemingly tease of something coming. Next, if you go to the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel, they animated the duel between Yoda and Dooku, and it is amazing. 1,000,000 times better than the movie version, in my opinion. So it's definitely worth checking out. Now I want to talk about an interesting rumor that Disney is considering making an animated Star Wars movie. or movies. I wouldn't be against this, as I've seen plenty of animated movies that were absolutely splendid. If they do this, I'm hoping they'll tell stories between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. That would be a great way to get more stories of Luke Skywalker post Episode 6 without worrying of having to recast or de-age Mark Hamill. So this is one of those rumors where I hope there's a lot more than a sprinkle of truth to it. Onwards, it was noted a few days ago that Carrie Hart, the head of the Star Wars story group, is no longer listed on the Lucasfilm leadership page. She could have been fired or promoted. We've seen others who were promoted get taken off the leadership page. We'll just have to wait and see what happened to her. If she has been removed, I'd be interested to see who is the new head of the Star Wars story group. Now, in the world of Star Wars written material, we got a lot of updates and news this week. Of course, Disney is giving us a shit ton of books, comics, and fables to hype up their Galaxy's Edge, a Star Wars theme park coming to Disney World and Disneyland this year that takes place at a remote outpost on the Galaxy's Edge called Batuu. So among these releases is a Galaxy's Edge mini comic series, a novel about Black Spire, where General Leia Organa dispatches her top spy to search for Resistance allies, a young adult novel called A Crash of Fate that takes place on Batuu and focuses on two friends, and then a middle grade novel called Star Wars Myths and Fables that covers two stories that take place on Batuu, along with other untold tales from the edge of the galaxy. Look, I'm sure plenty of people will love these, and I'm happy for any new lore, but man, does it feel cheap, and like they're using this just to get more people to their park. I will read all of these, I will check them out, but at the same time, I'm gonna wait and see if they actually did a really good job with these or if it was just forced marketing for their park. Interestingly, we're also getting a Skywalker Saga book by Delilah Dawson, and she gave us a sneak peek on her Twitter by tweeting, "The Skywalker Saga is going to be the most exquisitely bound Star Wars storybook you can imagine, with gorgeous art by Brian Wood and words by me, retelling episodes 1 through 8 through the eyes of the Skywalkers themselves. We're talking space fairy tale style." Interestingly, she said she included Rey as one of the Skywalkers, but then backtracked later and said blood doesn't make you family. Okay, Delilah, that's not suspicious at all, and I am not going to get my hopes up about anything being revealed in episode 9. We also got a new synopsis for the book Master and Apprentice, which follows Qui-Gon and his Padawan Obi-Wan, which actually has me quite excited, so here is the summary, and you can decide for yourself if you're excited too. An unexpected offer threatens the bond between Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi as the two Jedi navigate a dangerous new planet and an uncertain future. A Jedi must be a fearless warrior, a guardian of justice, and a scholar in the ways of the Force. But perhaps a Jedi's most essential duty is to pass on what they have learned. Master Yoda trained Dooku. Dooku trained Qui-Gon Jinn. And now Qui-Gon has a Padawan of his own. But while Qui-Gon has faced all manner of threats and danger as a Jedi, nothing has ever scared him like the thought of failing his apprentice. Obi-Wan Kenobi has a deep respect for his master, but struggles to understand him. Why must Qui-Gon so often disregard the laws that bind the Jedi? Why is Qui-Gon drawn to ancient Jedi prophecies instead of more practical concerns? And why wasn't Obi-Wan told that Qui-Gon is considering an invitation to join the Jedi Council, knowing it would mean the end of their partnership? The simple answers scare him. Obi-Wan has failed his master. When another former student of Dooku requests their assistance with a political dispute, Jin and Kenobi travel to the royal court of Pajal for what may be their final mission together. What should be a simple assignment quickly becomes clouded by deceit and by visions of violent disaster that take hold in Qui-Gon's mind. As Qui-Gon's faith in prophecy grows, Obi-Wan's faith in him is tested, just as a threat surfaces that will demand that master and apprentice come together as never before or be divided forever. I'm excited to see these two together in Obi-Wan's struggles being Qui-Gon's apprentice, though honestly, Obi-Wan seems to do nothing but doubt himself in all the new canon. So I feel really bad for the guy. He lived his life doubting himself. Maybe we'll get future Obi-Wan material where he's a bit I don't know, a little more confident. Though I can think of one instant where he was very confident in himself, but moving on. If you're wondering where the Star Wars show went, it was supposed to be back this last Wednesday, but was delayed to next week. Kinda weird, but we'll see what's going on next week. Oh, and here's some random news to end on. Elon Musk was on the Mandalorian set. I don't know why I find that so funny. Good for you, Elon. Okay, so that is your recent Star Wars news. Hope your week was fantastically fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.